Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen to say you are still ailing, so we want to support so that we can have our own ground.
Thank you, Alfred. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. President.
Morning. Are you calling for the interaction?
Yes, I'm calling from interaction. My name is Binwell Mpundu, calling from Karoloshi.
Yes, for Sydney.
Yes. Mr. President, what is your policy on agriculture? By the coming of this government, they promised us that the agriculture will be a business. Now, not there. What is your take on agriculture policy? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Are you calling for the interaction? Your name?
Muelo Davis.
Yes, Vamuelo.
We have discussed some time back, but there is no need to remind you. Just to be so that
Thank you.
Yeah, let us look at the Constitution of Zambia, which I have in my hands, first one. Where it says defense of the Constitution, every person has the right and duty to defend this Constitution and resist or prevent a person from overthrowing, suspending, or illegally abrogating the Constitution. Now, if Bill 7 was pronounced to be illegal, how do you comment on the Article 2? I'm not a lawyer, but with this question, because previously we used to have technical committees which presented the reports to the president, then the cabinet to sit and come up with the white paper. The white paper culminates into having the bill which goes to parliament. Now, we have Bill 7, which technically I believe is under parliament. Then there is a technical committee which doesn't have even the terms of reference, knowing that probably they will come later. Are we going to have two bills in parliament? That is the question. We have Bill 7, which is already there, and there is a technical committee which will go around the country if at all time will allow. Are we going to have two bills over the same? I rest my case.
Okay. So, callers, please let me respond briefly to some of these issues that have been raised. I'll start with Mwelwa Davis. Mwelwa, you are very right, Bakalamba.
Where's the microphone?
It's on?
You've lost your microphone. Oh, it's there. Okay.
It's there.
All right, okay.
So, Mwelwa, you are very right. Nobody has a right to do anything with the Constitution without the mandate of the people. And like you say, the Constitution is very clear. All of us as citizens have a duty, not a right, a duty to defend the Constitution and its content. You can clearly see that Abaneswa UPND are confused in how they want to handle this. Clearly, the rules of engagement is that if you want to amend the Constitution, you must ensure that there is input from all the people. The people of Zambia are the ones mandated to change or amend the Constitution, and that can only be done through consultations. That is why the Inquiries Act gives power to the president or mandates the president to set up a committee. Either you call it a technical committee or whatever name you call it, or a commission. That committee will have a duty to ensure they go around the country to go and receive submission from the people, and it is those submissions that must be put together in ways of amendment. But you can see they started by using a shortcut, Bill 7, abe never color, vaipangire fyo valefwaya without consulting the people, vavula na vaminister after vakwata resistance from the people vamba okupitamo in the name of consultations. Today they are back with what they are calling a technical committee, like you say, Vamwelwa, without even clearly defining the terms of reference. So you can see Abanesu are quite confused, and it is our duty as citizens to ensure that we, unconfuse them by ensuring that we appeal to them to do what is very right. Frederick of Lusaka says, thank you, Binwell, for fighting for us. Like Wasata used to say, God has gifted me with a voice. This voice, I want to use it to speak for those who cannot speak for them. The people of Nkana gave me an opportunity to go to parliament to represent not only the people of Nkana, but also the people of Zambia, those who have no chance to speak for themselves. If I'm going to be persecuted for that, I am very ready. As you are aware, they've dragged me to court for simply speaking for the people. Now, interestingly, same things that they used to say when they're in the opposition is the same thing that I said, but they want to take me to court because they want to shut me down. Am I afraid? I am not afraid. Am I going to stop talking for you? I will not stop. So, Frederick, just be assured that, like you see in Traore, you also have young men in Zambia who can do exactly what Traore is doing. Because Traore is not doing anything special other than prioritizing the interests of his people. What we need is a leadership in Zambia that will prioritize the interests of the people, not prioritizing their own interest. So let me take another call because it's been persistent. Okay. Sydney Mukukayu say from Kalushi, what is your policy on agriculture? Look, God has given us enough arable land and God has given us enough water. We are a country that has got the biggest freshwater bodies. There is no way our people would be wallowing in poverty. What a government should prioritize, what we as a policy are going to do is to ensure that those who have the ability to go into farming are supported by a program of government. The FISIP program needs to be expanded to include everyone who wants to go into agriculture. The scenario today where you only have a very limited number of citizens who are being supported by government must be changed. We need to have all the citizens who can go into agriculture supported by government. But we also need to ensure that we start adding value to our agricultural products. There's no way you as a country, you are capable of growing fruits and everything else, but the end value to those fruits, namumona ama jamu, ama drinks, we all have to import from other countries. So our policy is that on one end, we are going to ensure we support all the farmers to go not only into growing maize, but to go and grow tobacco, to go and grow cotton, to go and grow rice, to go and grow or plant coffee, and all manner of agricultural produce, include dairy farming. But we are also interested in supporting value addition. We need to be a net exporter of all these products that comes out of our agricultural produce. So our policy on agriculture is not just primary production. We want to also evolve in secondary production, which is adding value to our produce so that we then can upscale or improve the standard of our farmers from not just production to also earning money of value addition.
There was a question, sorry to cut it, for cutting short. There was a question regarding the minerals that young people discover on their own. Then later on, they are chased from those sites.
Who has asked that question?
I think on the previous stream that cut on your phone, there was that question. Say, then they call us, go back to Pepeka. Would you handle the situation better?
Okay, let me answer this question first. Hello?
Good morning, Peter.
Morning, how are you? Are you calling for the program?
Yes, you are done.
No, we are not done. I just wanted to be sure. Your name?
Is your very honorable
Bamukosa. Mulishani bakalamba. Ndife wino bakalamba. Please proceed and interact with me bakalamba.
Yes, I just want to talk about Bill 7.
Bill 7. Yes, Bamukosa.
Yes, I think we need to be sincere to ourselves and citizens of this country. I don't really think we need to rubbish Bill 7. If there is anything that we see that is not right in Bill 7, those are the things that we need to talk about. But you, Mpundu, I have been following you on this issue of Bill 7. I don't think there's anything that you have not talked about what is bad about the content. You are just talking about wider consultation. Now that the consultation has been given to you people, what are you doing? What are you going to do? Are you submitting how you feel things must be handled?
Okay.
Or what is needed for the Zambian people? Because really, I don't expect you to against this bill because Mukamuguti, you are there for young people. And this bill you want to bring young people constitutional, not just Mufuna Mweka to come up with this so-called right. No, constitutional, where even when you are not there.
So are we talking about the bill, or we are now talking about a technical committee? Because there are two things now. What are we dealing with?
There are one thing. The technical committee is there for the bill, because of the bill. So it's one thing. So what I'm saying is that I don't think you are doing justice to this bill. You, as you are portrayed to be someone who is considering young people, you want the young people to be on top of everything. Although yes, you consider these other ages, but young people is your here at Washington.
Okay.
But how come you are against it? Because this bill want to protect young people, want these young people to be there, constitutional, supported by the constitution.
So let's.
But even when you are not there, the young people will be there.
So let's pick up more on this conversation away. But I've gotten what you are asking. I will respond, and then further to that.
Take my calls. Don't say you don't speak.
Bamukosa muri babufi imwe muri bakurusana imwe turalanda imwe na ine imwe. Okay, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Keep well. All right. Okay, so let me respond to some of these issues that have been raised. Bamukosa, I know you're listening. The issue of Bill 7, now the technical committee, that is where the problem is. That's why we are saying, now the UPND have realized that they need to do the right thing, okay? Unfortunately, there can never be shortcuts to amending the constitution. Clearly, by practice and by law, you cannot skip the idea of consulting the people. It is the people that must inform the contents of the amendments. So when you, as a ruling party, decide we want these amended, that is the biggest problem the Zambian people have. Now, the idea of the technical committee should now mean do away with the Bill 7, because Bill 7, you had decided what must be amended on your own. So the starting point, Bamukosa, now must be, let us be on the same footing. Take away the Bill 7 with all its content. Go to the people. They are the ones who must decide what must be contained in the amendment. You, being part of the people of Zambia, can also make the same proposal you made in Bill 7 to be contained in that document that the technical committee is going to put together. So already you are confusing people, because now the terms of references are not clear. Are you putting together the technical committee to go and convince people around Bill 7, or you want the technical committee to go to the people and get submissions on what the people want? That must clearly be defined if you want to buy or to have a buy-in from all of us. If you say we are refusing some of the things that would benefit the young people. We must ask, are the young people asking that you must give them 12 seats in parliament out of 266 seats? Clearly, the young people would not agree that you give them only 12 seats, which seats are also going to be decided by one person. The young people would want something that any one of them would have equal chances to. Because if you're going to create 12 seats for young people, the question is which young people are going to even make it to parliament? Because by practice, we know when you say opportunities for young people, we know it is only those young people that are closer to the corridors of power. So it doesn't guarantee the young people that if you included 12 slots in parliament, then the Zambian young people are all going to have an opportunity. There's a question about minerals. The mineral wealth of Zambia belongs to Zambians, and they must benefit all Zambians. For me, I believe, like what happened in Mufumbwe, if young people discover God, all that government needs to do is to go into that area and help those young people to own those minerals legitimately. Meaning, can you empower them to have licenses? And then marry the mining with the policy, the mining policy. If the mining policy dictates as we aspire to do, because if we're not to therefore gold resources to be managed by government, okay? The foreigners can only buy our gold. They won't come and mine the gold. They will not be allowed. The gold resources, when we come into power, will be mined by the locals. When I went into Ghana, I discovered the scenario in Ghana is that they've separated gold management into three phases. Kwa baba chita mine gold. The people that are mining gold cannot go on the market to sell gold. They are then buyers or traders of gold. The traders of gold, they apply to the Ghana Gold, board to be registered as traders. So they are primary and secondary traders of gold. Okay, they are the ones now who goes to them, those who are mining to buy, and every gold sale must go through the gold board. That way you create opportunities at all levels. You create opportunities for those who are mining, you create opportunities for those who are trading, and you also create opportunities for those who are exporting. So that is what we think should be done. When citizens, discover minerals, they must be regularized by way of give them licenses so that then they can benefit from that minerals wealth, as well as government also benefiting from that mineral wealth. Jeremiah says, when are you going to give us the manifesto? The manifesto is there for the movement. I can share with Jeremiah. We have not just given out to the public, because what we are avoiding is to have a manifesto crafted by 2, 3, 4 people that becomes the agenda of the country. So our manifesto now is still a living document. We have been, consulting different stakeholders so that they can speak to it. Because our belief is that a manifesto, which is ultimately the agenda of the country, cannot be crafted by 2 or 3 people. Okay? It must be, there must be input from a wider scope of Zambian people. So that document is still available for those who would like to have an input to it, but we are not making it public for now because we want a lot of stakeholders to speak to it, and we are making it available to different stakeholders as it is. So at an appropriate time, we are then going to say, we have now arrived. This is what we desire to be the agenda for the country, and we're going to make that manifesto public. T-shirts, we are going to bring the T-shirts, and all the regards to you, Jeremiah, in Lumwana. I've taken note. We are already preparing for independence celebrations. We are making all these things available, and I'm going to make them available to you. Please do communicate into my WhatsApp inbox. Then we can pick it up from there.
The notion that there is no opposition in the country. Is it just massaging those in power, or that's the true position on the ground?
Those who think there is no opposition, by the way, even just the little opinion polls that have been thrown on social media today, even this little movement that was started a year ago has been beating the UPND. Now, make no mistake to think that an opinion poll is simply an academic exercise. An opinion poll is actually a reflection of what people think. So here we can even proudly say that the movement is actually bigger than the UPND, because the UPND are quite stronger on social media. You are all aware. The UPND actually won their election through social media. Remember, PF used to say by UPND by social media. And they utilized social media by UPND to win the election. So today, when there's an opinion poll and the UPND loses, it tells you, it gives you a glimpse that by UPND, contrary to them thinking they are strong, they are not strong. In fact, by UPND now cannot even be compared to the movement for good governance, because we are beating them at every opinion poll. And I can challenge the UPND today. Let's have any opinion poll, UPND versus Ichabaich, today or tomorrow. We'll still beat them. That tells you that the will of the people is stronger than some of these pronouncements being made, namely that there's no opposition. By the way, I want to tell you, those who are familiar with history, there was no opposition in 1990. There was only UNIP. Okay? There was no MMD, there was no political party other than UNIP in 1990. But I can tell you, at the time when Kaunda gave in to multipartism, and the time we had the 1991 general election, there was less than 1 year. So you then can ask, where did the opposition come from? The opposition Bantu. The same people today, Abadine Nsala. The same people today who cannot afford the basic needs. The same people today, UPND cadres. The same people today, because they have criticized government, are the opposition today. Given an opportunity, one day, and it would only take 1 day, they will agree to say, and they will beat the UPND. So opposition in Zambia today is actually stronger than any other year. I can only compare it to 1991. Because those who understand politics, opposition Bantu. Ichi shele kofe is Abantu to now say Twala nina muli motoke. And that is why Ichaba is there. It is a vehicle that especially the young generation Zambians have seen as the perfect option to ride on to kick away the incompetent UPND. Because I know the UPND don't like these words like incompetent, but this is the most incompetent government in history. Aba nibachimbwi no plan that is why everything is in reverse gear. The economy is on its knees. They are very quick in making pronouncements, like the budget. Mwebena Zambia, budget from 177 billion to 257 billion figures. Realistically, there's nothing on the ground. I am chairing a committee of parliament where we are actually revealing the progress made in the 2025 national budget. And I can tell you here openly, for those who wants to debate me over the budget, the performance of the UPND in regards to the 2025 national budget is below 50%. It's a dismal performance. So the funding has not been made available despite the budget being approved. So how then can you fail to meet 177 billion and you think that you can find 253 billion? Today, 2 months to go before the end of the year, ministries have not been funded beyond 50%. So, ila 50% ishere 2 months to go. Ngempia mukashifumia kuise shinesho mwabika muli budget at 253 billion. So, the UPND are actually very incompetent. The sad part is that they are liars and they are full of propaganda. That is why they've managed to hoodwink the Zambians to believe they are the best in history. Yes, tell me what is there to point in terms of development. Utuma toilet. Number 1 by 3. Imwe. Development ma fly over bridges. Development ma level shine hospitals. A development. Ma universities, development. The UPND have not even built a single university. How can they say they are the best in history when they are basically stepping and living and literally breathing, what their friends did accomplish?
There's one burning issue, and we are not going to pretend it's not that pertinent.
Mm-hmm.
If you were president currently, would you have handled the ECL issue any better?
Yes. Bane, that is why I was saying in Parliament the other day. The president goes to deliver a speech to Parliament and says we are standing in solidarity with the Lungu family, offering them prayers. Imwe, how do you stand in solidarity with a family that you have dragged to court? Abe neba mubiri. Umuntu afwa. I belong not to the Zambian people. I belong to the Mpundus. They are the ones who will have the final saying anafwa. Mwike sana chikwera mwebena Zambia tiopa ntu bini wani MP tulefuwa tumushiki oku. If they say tule mtuwala kuchienge kwa mununga, muka ntuwale kwa mununga, nkamibukile chua. So what I'm basically saying here is that the ultimate authority in regards to a body, nangu mubili wa muntu ufuile, niba family. There is no law in this country, my brother. There is no law that dictates that a president should be buried anywhere. It is just practice. Practice-wise, it has been seen feasible or normal or okay or convenient that presidents must be buried at Embassy Park. It has just been seen by practice as convenient that the state must take over. What government should have done is to go to the Lungu family and compromise with them. Okay, bane tuebe ne formule fuaya. Na ifue tulefua tukwate mofi olubadi, not to dictate. But look at how this thing has now unfolded. You take a grieving family, abantu bale losha. Mwabatuwala kukoti for 3 months umunta bamushikile. Today you want to claim you are standing in solidarity with the Lungu family. The same people who are saying they are standing in solidarity with the Lungu family, they want to take away Tasira's seat. Guys, iyoni hypocrisy. Bumunda. Because you cannot say na likutemwa Binwell, but na pilibuka you are raising your sweat to come and cut me. Okay? If I was president, I would have allowed the wishes of the Lungu family to prevail over my own wishes. If anything, I could go to the Lungu family and plead that Naineba Mpele share in the processions of the funeral. Not to say Inebo Almighty, because I'm president, I must dictate what must be done. That is why we are seeing this issue dragging, and it may drag for such a very long time. Who are the end losers? We are all losers, because a person who saved this country has not been buried for over 3 months. We have become a laughing stock because of ego. Whatever I say must go. Let me answer this call. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Honor.
Your name, please. Are you calling for the interaction?
Yes, we're going to interaction.
Okay.
Yes. This is Mr. Mohammed.
Bamwam, bamulishani. Ndife bwino. Please. Natotera.
We are able to have these discussions live like that. And, you are coming out so strong. How you look at you can empower the youth and also stand with the youth in developing this country. We are quite fortunate because we have you in our midst as young people.
Thank you.
Yes. But the only thing that we would like maybe to stress to you is how best we are considering to engage the youth, because most of the time what has hindered the development or the participation of the youth in these national matters is because a lot of them lack a lot of funding. They can have brilliant ideas, they can have the capacity, actually capability to but because they don't have the capacity to go out there, campaign, then you end up having the same old people because they've got money. And they don't even deliver. So it's also important as you look at this movement, you look at the fact that how are we going to empower these youths? Because these are some of them, these are youths who have not even been deployed at any point.
That's right.
They are trying to stand on their ground to raise what they can put on the table, as well as trying to see if they can participate in these national matters. At the end of the day, it's a small period. From let's say from 20 to 35, it's not possible for someone to raise enough to even go and stand and convince people to say, this is what I can do, this is what I do. So I don't know how you look at the way youths are going to participate in terms of funding. How do they come in, even when they have got the ability to be leaders, but where are they getting the funds to do the campaigns? Where are they getting the funds to do to participate in this general election?
Thank you.
Those are some of the things that maybe you need to look at and also
Thank you.
put it in your policy.
Thank you.
This is how we are going to support the youth. Otherwise, it's a good thing, we are supporting it, and we really want to continue supporting this idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bamwamba, I want to thank you for your observation. Inero nawe inine bu MP wakunkana. Nisha kwetepo na ngwe mu account. I didn't have any ngwe in my account. There are a lot of young people with the potential to lead this country who have not been given an opportunity. Remember, in an RPF, every time I applied to stand as an MP in 2016, 2021, you know, our superiors looked at me based on my financial capacity and based on age. They disqualified me or wrote me off because they thought I didn't have money and because they thought I was young. But I defied that order when I went, you know, independent, and I was able to mobilize my own resources using the relationship I'd built with people. What we are trying to do in this movement is to, number one, create a platform for young people. I am a political parties that are existing. I've not given chance to young people. We want to give them chances as a movement. So we are going, our priority is to adopt young people in all positions, bu mayor, bu councillor, bu MP, na president refu tukabike po mchenchevere. Okay? Because we know the capacity, we know what the young people can bring to the table. What are we going to do them? We are going to ensure we give them technical support, and we are going to give them financial support up to the level we can manage. That is to bridge that gap that exists for young people to aspire into the positions. They have no money, they are not given opportunities. We are going to give that opportunity by adopting them, and we are also going to give them an opportunity through support technically and in terms of resources. So I'm very grateful Bamwamba. It is your duty to ensure that this movement becomes a reality. Speak to Zambians that there's a need for us to open a new chapter in terms of leadership for this country, because we have tried the same thing over and over again and it has failed us. Let me respond to this question or this call. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Your name, please.
Oh, so my name is Amlinga Joshua.
By Joshua Mulishan. Please proceed.
Yes, I have some questions as a young youth. I'm 26 years old.
Yes.
I'm currently a student at the Copperbelt University.
Uh-huh.
I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in mining engineering.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking, considering how the government has been running things.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask on the things, because there are things that we look at, and just general knowledge, you can see that, okay, there is a lot of money that we really make as a country.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk about the tokens, the ones that you touched on. We've noticed how much money that enters in and how many cars that pay. But yet we want to at least ask, how would your government show pass in and we just don't have like one toll gate. Just one truck pays almost like 1,000 something. And as well, and talking on the mining sector as well, on Mfumbwe, the one that we were talking about, the one that has been alarming and all that. If at all, my question that I've actually been thinking of, if people like Sparks Mining and other people that we know who are just having a small portion of the minerals that we have, and they can able to be rich like that. What about if the government is controlling like Mpumbwe and all that? Why does the government not take part in those things? And even if they do, why don't we see so much resources coming in the country that we can see that okay, Zambia is moving forward?
Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. We need to accommodate others. But you have my number. Let's keep on engaging each other, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Just before you respond to Joshua, there is this notion that politicians are liars. There's a comment here to say, what makes you think that you won't turn against the same words? I'm meant to believe that you're not making promises.
I think that in all fairness, Ichabulira mu Zambia, when we are picking leaders, is to interrogate the leaders in terms of character. Okay? I have always loved the work of Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe has been laughing at third world countries, saying we are quick to put managers and politicians in power and not leaders. Leadership is about character. So Binwell Mpundu president, interrogate, check his background. Afuma kwi, what does he stand for? Because umuntu ngari wabu fyo kwa afumini. Na mwampere chifulo. Ala abana ubufi more. Okay? It is not true to say politicians are liars. Bufi. It is only in Zambia where you have politicians who are liars. And the reason is that we don't put our leaders to account for the things they promised. Ku America no ku Ashala. It is a big offense to promise people you are going to do this and walk away. It is actually, a recipe for one being removed if they walk away from what they promised the people. Because remember, they are voting for you based on what you promise. Now, it has become now a notion where people think because we are in the wabufi, na binu waka wabufi. We are not the same. We come from different backgrounds. We have been brought up differently. Where this one can lie, if never UPND wabufi, ni waputi, ni wamapiete. Tefi alaba na binu akula ifi apusanako. The other thing is that we must also look at the reality of the promises. If Binwell says, I'm going to give you more money, you must ask, how are you going to give us more money? And I'll tell you this, and this is my promise to the people of Zambia. At least those who have found decent jobs, we are going to create or give them more money by ensuring that we reduce on the taxes they are paying. I'm a big fanatic of cushioning the citizens against taxes. Today you find government proudly saying they are raising revenues from local sources. But when you check at the sources where they are raising revenue, it's strictly taxing people. Now, I was on the radio program the other day where I gave an example of where government can raise revenue. As an example from our border posts, we can raise not less than $2 million per day from our border posts. The problem is that our border posts right now is nika scheme with the people who are in positions. Okay? Because like I gave an example, there are over 12,000 trucks that are passing through those borders. Each truck pays not less than $20. In fact, I was corrected. The truck is paying $30 per axle. Each truck has got on average 8 axles. So 8 times 30 gives you somewhere about, is it Ishan? $240 per truck yapita ngayabwera foot $240 times 12,000. You are able to raise about over 2 million kwacha per day. If you calculate that for the whole year, you are talking about not less than $1 billion. Your budget today is 10 billion. Already from 10 billion, mwafumi yako ka 1 billion. Mwamba fekula foya 9 billion. The targets. These guys have given away the targets as easy as that. Nibuka bola la byobu achitika. Umfweni mwebe na Zambia. These roads are not just for moving cars or enabling cars to move. These are security, installations. You can't give toll facilities into the hands of foreigners because the data they capture there can be used in manners that would jeopardize the security of a country. You can't give border posts to foreigners. You jeopardize your national security. You give away your sovereignty. On top of raising revenue, or on top of losing revenue, you have also lost your sovereignty. You have also lost your security. You have compromised your security. Border posts are a good source of revenue. Toll gates are also a good source of revenue. Now, if the argument is that we are giving away the toll gates because a contractor has built these roads, that is not an argument, cannot be argued. But you can't give away toll gates before the contractor invests. The only reason why you are giving away toll gates is that this investor recovers what he invested. In the case of the dual carriageway from Lusaka to Ndola, why are you giving the toll gates to somebody who has not done the investment? So that he can use your money from the toll gates to go and invest. Don't you think besides bukabolala muliko fena kamungulu because tetimuperi omuntu atira natukwate mpia shakusa mukupangira omusebo before talabika mwe mpia shakwe mwamupela shashine mpia mufilo kula chita collect. Those toll gates can only be given when the contractor finishes. But when we come into power, the toll gates will not be surrendered to all these consortiums. Government is going to build all the infrastructure using local generated resources. We are mining not less than 10 kgs of gold in Kasensedi as per records. Are you telling me we can fail to finance construction of our roads? If NAPSA is able to finance the dual carriageway to Ndola and workers' compensation put together, why should you bring a foreign entity to go and own our toll gates? The reason is very simple. That is a conduit for people to get involved in corruption. So in Ndeland, you must be able to challenge minga mre unfika ka element ka bufi. On that score, you should be able to say Binwell Babufi. But the things I'm talking about are realities, things that are tangible, things that can easily or are practical. They are happening even now, except you are dealing with ba mafia, ba pompwe, ba lazo. Aba isafe just to steal and not to benefit or better the lives of the Zambian people. Amalite. Again, Amalite is another sad story. Okay? Ba UPND ido bale isa, ido bale mizembeleka. Bale tira mwalimu na Dubai. Ku Dubai takwa be mfula. So ababa PF abale panga ma excuse ya kutira yo kwa diba drought. They are just incompetent. That is what HH used to tell you, the Zambian people. But by UPND today, they are the first ones to say, Bushe, HH upange mfula. Okay? So, they lied to you when they were giving examples of Dubai. They had no formula to resolve the issue of the energy crisis. When we come into power, I can tell you what we are going to do. Number one, we have the capacity to generate power through nuclear facilities. PF, before they left power, was gifted by the Russian government to build a nuclear power facility. The process had already started. You saw we established the atomic agency that was managed by the late Roland Musiska, which was in Chongwe, in preparation to now start building the nuclear power plant in the northern part. But UPND abandoned that project because the valley umfwana na Russia. Today, by UPND, as per the interaction I've had in the committee with the Minister of Energy, are now considering to go and start pursuing the potential around the nuclear facilities. You can see policies, because you don't like China, you can't do anything with China. Because you don't like Russia, you have to abandon all manner of initiative that was signed with Russia. Today, we would have had a nuclear power plant because our friends who benefited from the same program by Egypt and by South Africa, their nuclear power plants are operating today. Zambia would have had its nuclear power plant operating today. When we come into power, we are not just going to speak about these things, we are going to put them into reality. We are not going to be making the same mistakes where jeopardizing the entire economy of the country. Mwayabula pipeline yabeba titazama. Mwapela kuli agrofuel. Umofye panto adi nishita finance ama campaign yenu. And then you discover that this guy was actually charging the Zambian people 3 times the cost of transportation. The whole economy yaba in jeopardy because you have prioritized the interests of one business entity at the expense of the Zambian people. You then discover this guy was actually charging you 3 times more. That is a prosecutable offense. Those who facilitated that transaction and the person who participated in that transaction must be sent to jail. So the issue of power is an issue of a government that doesn't care for its people. Because today, they have recorded about 400 megawatts. Why are we continuing to export power? They were saying, no, to contractual obligations. Contractual obligation because they've now recorded 400 megawatts. It means they were prioritizing Kupange at the expense of the Zambian people. I was asking the Minister of Energy, why didn't you invoke these provisions you are invoking now? Because the Minister of Energy actually told the committee that I represent, that there are in those contracts provisions that can enable you to terminate a contract. So I was asking, provisions. Because ZESCO, we needed to make some money for ZESCO. That is all they were interested in. They were interested in exporting power so that they can make money as opposed to saving the interests of the Zambian people. So this issue of the power situation has been artificial because some people have been benefiting from this deliberate intention to harm the citizens of this country. When we come into power, we will not allow selfish interest to override the interest of the Zambian people. Load shedding in Fonga Twaisa Mumaka, Takwa Kabe, because there are thousands of applications of private entities that wants to invest in all these facets of power generation, solar, wind, and others. Ichale ngayama project ye bakolelo mulanduwa bureaucracy ya government. Ama government lelo, they will only sign on a project to take over or to take off because naba kwatoku diamu. Ngatapali hapa kudiamu nish they will not sign. That is the reason why we are here today. So let me continue responding to how many minutes do we have left?
We have 30 minutes to go.
30 minutes?
Yeah, Kuba.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to debate anyone apart from the president. That's what's trending on social media. You're trending on that topic. You say you don't want anyone because presidents debate president.
Morning. Okay, let's be very frank.
I have 2 more scale before you.
Okay, let me answer. Good morning. Good morning. Very well. Your name? Efumie niko yo feedback idioko katushinga ni phone imbi. Banani shina?
Chama.
Bachama shani bakalamba kushani kuchingola.
Kuno mshani wana lepo.
Bali mipoka ama dump sites bachingola.
Walila.
Twaisha ko bakalamba.
So the only question I have for you is that have we registered each other as a political party, or how is the program so far?
Okay. Very well. Bachama, right now we have a movement we are calling the Movement for Good Governance, also being called Ichabaiche. Behind this movement is a political grouping that we are going to unveil very soon when we launch ourselves. So worry not, everything is in place. For now, the movement Ichabaiche is simply a vehicle, ni basi. Therefore, abantu banine muri chine Ichabaiche, ero tukabafukumuine nomba muri political party. Epo irikale, everything is sorted.
I see.
Thank you. Imwe bachama. Na mukwate nchito ikalamba to go and tell your brothers and sisters, this government has punished the young people of Chingola. The young people of Chingola today, they've been made kuya mukuchita maini mukamana mukafiwe just to get a little ends meet. The young people of Chingola used to go and earn a living in the dump sites. Kudia kufuku kuma dampu kudia. You know the people who have taken over those sites. Mwadibe shiba. Nyababe nyabadi mubuteko. Mulandu wabuka itemwe. When we come into power, we are going to cancel all that, for lack of better terms, all that nonsense they've done. The selfishness they've caused in Chingola, we are going to take it away. The young people of Chingola are going to be empowered with a little capital to process all those mining wastes, so that imwe mwikala mukustisha fielo ba mukale chitako add a little value mwapanga ko tuma concentrate ero mwamukustisha ama Chinese. That dump wastes fidye firongo mafidya fienu bacha manaba ichebenu nabakalamba benu. It is not correct for a government to subject the people of Chingola, the young people of Chingola, ile lokule bafidonsa ba ibusinga babuka kuya mukula panga fiongo, because they've got nothing to survive on. Over 10 years, 20 years, the young people of Chingola have not bothered anyone. They've not asked for jobs from government. They've not they've said that if we're to the miners, we are going to survive on these mining dump sites. Lero take over UPND for the first time. Baya pela license. Kuri senseri. Vamu pela license. Mu license ya KCM. Mukabe pusho kwe ba senseri uyu afuma kwi. Senseri ni nani? Ngatwakumana nkesa mieba senseri nyababe nyaba bomba mu buteko. The idea is taba mitemwa mweba kuchingola mweba youth. Despite you voting for them, mwaba votera top and down, mwaba pela ma councillors, ba mayor na ma MP babili. Ero baisa mukumi panika by taking away the little that used to survive on. So uno mukulo, we are going to vote for practical people. Inero nari DC mukitwe bachama. Ask anyone in Kitwe. Ido nadi DC mukitwe. Nadi kenye ba mopani. Ukutamfi abanenu abale imbaula ukotwale itatu kusink ho. When Mopani wanted to send away abalumendo amajera boku Kitwe, abale chitamaini kudia kuchambodi. I asked ba Mopani, what are you going to give them if you chase them? Until we agreed, Mopani yachitari dizi fyonse fima dumps fidia ukwambira ku area K ukuyafika kumindolo. That is when we allowed them to bury the sinkhole. The same way is what I'm promising when I become president. All those mining dump sites, because a company ngayaisa tulefo kuchita mine, they don't mine wastes. Okay? Ama wastes they are supposed to be given to young people to also earn a living. But what we will do is that we are even going to empower you more with a little capital for you to now add value to those wastes so that you can be selling something of more value. Thank you, Bachama.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good day. Hello?
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Very well, good morning. What's your name, Bakalamba?
Maybe looking at the status of our country, I will beg to remain anonymous.
I understand. What can we do?
Greeting the honorable, greeting the honorable.
Thank you, Bakalamba. Thank you very much.
And therefore, we our honorable.
Mm-hmm.
Koseni. Many points. How you are putting harder to unseat the current regime. Now, encouraging united in opposition parties. And why am I elections to I have 2026 to it is a matter of life and death.
Very correct.
Opposition leaders, I'm feeling that. Whether with a case, a justice case, or now a case,
Okay.
Injustice, just because you are speaking for the people of Zambia. That will be the only crime an opposition leader would be just given. Now, Papa, Bantu Aqualesa, Ikataneni, Ngomumo, 26, Nayafu, UPM, their number Mukasalanga, in a political party, after modification, water, and Papa.
Totally. My
elections
Thank you, Moyokalamba na totela sana, and you are very spot on. I am elections at 2026. Buntu ngwabwa number 2. Elo buntu ngwabwa number 2 kanutwai katana. That is why inenga Binwell Mpundu tutile nga mwaibukisho buntu ngwele tuwapoke